What is up, guys? This is Xenocorpse here, and welcome to a brand new series that I will be starting here on the channel. And I am starting a theme park in Planet Coaster. I have always loved theme park simulation games, and finally I am bringing myself to create a series of it, let alone, playing it. I'm actually going to be recording it and, getting your guys' feedback on everything. It's just going to be it's so exciting to play this finally on the channel for the first time, and hopefully get you guys feedback on what I'm building, maybe some suggestions on the park. But I've already picked out a name for the park because I already have a sort of idea of what I want to do with this park. This is going to be called Studiopolis, and it's going to be a studios-based park. And I'm calling it Studiopolis because instead of having like movie-based IPs in there, there's going to be like video game-based IPs. So there's going to be a lot of custom items in there that I'm going to be making out of like art pieces and everything. As you see here, I'm actually trying to cover up those corners right there, trying to figure out what pieces fit best. Finally end up deciding here in a minute after I get distracted building these pillars. But as I was saying, this is going to be a studio-based park that will have, video game-based IPs instead of just movie-based IPs. And I think that'll be a very interesting take on a studio-themed park. Now, there's going to be like a backlot tour with like video game-based items in it, and there's going to be video game-based rides. It's going to be really cool. Suggestions on what games to do in the comments below would be really helpful. I have an idea for a couple, and if anybody knows the game Sonic Mania, it's probably why I'm calling it Studiopolis, because I definitely plan on making a Sonic Mania-based thing in here at some point in time. So, as you can see here, I am building the main entrance. I am going with the typical archways out of stucco themed entrance for like studios for the main entrance here. And I'm just kind of messing around with a bunch of pieces to see what would work best. And here you can see I'm still trying to figure out until I finally find that little column piece that I'm happy with. And I'll build a little column here to fill up that gap to make the corner look nice. And I just duplicate it over on the other side. And then I'm building these little towers here just to kind of give some height variation, make it kind of look pretty nice. This is the first time I've actually done a serious project in Planet Coaster. And in fact, it's actually the first time I've sat down with an actual plan for a theme park in Planet Coaster as well. So this is my first really big project here in this game, and all the feedback that you guys would have, please give it to me. It would be really helpful, really appreciated, because this is the first time I've actually built a full-on theme park. And if you can't really tell by my building skills, I'm not really used to the game. I haven't put in a lot of hours on the game. You can see here I'm trying to use the bottoms of those window pieces to maybe make like a curved roof to make it look nicer. And then I give up on that idea and instead move on to some chimneys here to kind of make the main archway stand out a little bit more. I was kind of moving my mouse around there because the clipping was a little off there. Finally decided on two little chimneys there. Eventually, I will realize that I probably need to start laying down some paths, but first, I kind of get interested in these little spotlights because I just bought the Studios pack. And so I actually start adding these little spotlights to highlight each little tower of the main entrance. And basically, I'm going to be focusing a lot on like lighting and everything, because lighting is something that's really hard or really easy to forget. It's really easy to just not focus on lighting detail in your parks, especially in simulation games. So I'm just trying to focus on all the details possible. This is my first time actually making a really detailed park, so I'm going for like a studios-based theme. I don't know if I'm going to do like themed areas or like just basic video game IP themes. I don't really know. Like, suggestions would be very helpful because at this point it's just kind of a rough draft. You can see here I got really interested in one of these moving spotlights, and I've always seen these around like movie theater based parks, and so finally decided on a location and decided to hide them inside these little chimneys here. I thought that'd be a little perfect spot to put them. It might not be very realistic as it shines through it, but I mean, I think it looks really good. And so there we go, we're back to daytime, and now I finally decided to start plunking in some paths. And so I'm just, I'm using the grid system to try and line things up as best as I can, but everybody knows that in this game the path system is very finicky. I finally decide, after messing around here, you can see I'm kind of struggling on getting something. I increase the path size and finally decide on something that I'm actually happy with. And it was really hard to replicate on this side for some reason. I don't know. I don't know why. I'm trying to get it as best as I can. And after a lot of struggling, I finally kind of get what I was looking for after messing around with it a lot. There you go, as you can see right there. So yeah, there's the paths that I've made. It's going to be just kind of like a really grand entrance. I'm not going to be doing like parking lots or anything in this one because I just want to focus on actually building the theme park. I don't know if I'm going to focus on infrastructure too much, especially since I'm not doing any parking lots or anything, so I don't know if I'm going to do any behind the scenes kind of things. But yeah, this is actually kind of like my first time going in and exploring all the little scenery items. And you can see here, I'm struggling to try and find something to fit, in these little spots. I want these little spots in front where these lights are to be like little planter boxes with like bushes and whatnot in them. But I couldn't find any pieces that would look good there. You can see I'm just digging through the fences and just trying to look for something that would make sense. And I finally kind of try something out, and I'm still not happy with it, so I end up scrapping the idea altogether. I might revisit it later on, but as of right now, I haven't, come up with anything. So still struggling here, but this is probably, well, not probably, this is the first video in like months on this channel. The last time I uploaded was in April, I believe. So I guess I need to explain myself with that. I've been focusing on working, I needed a little break from what I was doing, and I really do love making videos. I love making content, and I love seeing, replies and comments and all that on my content, It's really pleasing to get all that, and I felt bored with it at one point in time. And this is a hobby. I'm not doing it for monetary gain. I'm not doing it for anybody else. I'm kind of doing it for me because this is a hobby, and I feel like that, it's just a place for me to kind of have like a log of little things that I like to do. You can see here, that's what my little idea was, and I was not happy with it at all. I ended up scrapping it there. But I was and that path disappeared. I have no idea why. So yeah, I was just trying to figure out, what I wanted to do with my life, and I'm still trying to figure that out, but I'm kind of getting there better. I'm getting there. I'm working currently at a place that pays really well. Finally moved up to full-time, which is really good. And I'm just, trying to move up in my life. I feel like I'm going nowhere, really. I don't have a good job. There's a little weird thing right there with the paths. Like, I'd zoom out and you'd see like a little octagon shape right there. I don't know. But as I was saying, like, I'm just trying to find, a path in my life to move on, and I'm just struggling, It's hard. I'm 20 years old. I'm going to college soon again. Yes. I dropped out and then I'm back in. Yes. But I am trying to get my life together, and I'm just trying to focus on me and my girlfriend, and it's a lot of stuff to worry about, especially freshly out of high school. Have no idea what kind of career I want, although I do know what kind of major I want. But I'm just trying to focus on getting to where I want to be in my life right now, and it's challenging. It's something everybody faces, like, what am I going to do with my life, or am I just going to sit here and waste my time? So here in the game, I'm actually creating my first ever custom piece here, and I'm throwing down a little animatronic for scale purposes, but I'm actually going to create a turnstile, and I'm actually really happy with how these turned out. I've never really dabbled with messing around with creating my own custom things in this game at all, for that matter, and I'm actually really pleased with how I did this, because this is, I watch Geekism, I watch Theme Park Worldwide series. on Planet Coaster, and it's kind of really inspired me, first off, to actually create this content. So if you guys are somehow watching these videos, thanks for inspiring me. You guys actually do some really awesome work. But I'm actually really pleased with how this turnstile turned out, pun. But I actually got like a light in there. I'm actually using like the Studio Pack lights to actually, you can see here I'm kind of angling these strip lights here to give a little green light above the turnstiles to actually give it, make it look like it'll say red if it's an error, or like green, say okay, you can go in. But I kind of mess around with like a place to put in like your ticket or to scan it or whatever. And I'm kind of messing around and seeing the back of that, and I realized that would actually look good as a little cover for behind the turnstile actual, the piece that actually turns. So I put that there to make it, not look so off. And then I used that thing to kind of, and then I wanted like a little pillar down here at the bottom. And I felt like this was kind of big, but it's the only thing I had that would really fit and that was colorable. So I ended up using it. And then I found this little wire here to kind of make it look like it's actually hooked up to something. So that's just a little bit of detail there. And then over here, I'm going to be adding like that right there. It's a police light, and I'm changing the color of it to kind of make it look like a scanner. And that's basically what's going to scan the guest's ticket. And then I'm just kind of looking for other little pieces to try and make it look a little bit better, maybe make it tie into the building, because I know if I throw that gray thing down, it'll look pretty ugly. So I end up finding these little stucco bricks here, and I'm really quite happy with how that turned out. And so I turn it into a little scenery building, and I just start duplicating it over here onto the path. And you'll see here in a minute, as I'm duplicating it, I end up running into an issue at the very end of this large archway here, that there's just not enough space to put another turnstile, but it's too much space for a turnstile. And you'll see right here, this is what I'm looking at right there on the right. And it's just way too much space, and I don't want to create another turnstile facing the other way because that would just be too close to one another. And so I'm trying to look for like a table or something to make it kind of look like a bag check. Nothing was kind of really coming to mind, and so I look at these pillars and I'm like, well, I don't want to just leave that sitting there. They'll just look dumb. And I didn't want to have those arches because I wanted the giant archway to be wide open. That's why I have the giant arch. So I end up duplicating the pillar over. And don't worry about the way it looks right now. I'm actually going to copy over the base as well and the little stucco decoration to make it match the rest of the pillars as I'm thinking about it, because I'm still trying to figure out what the heck am I going to do with this to make it tie in. And here you go. I'm moving the base over and the little stucco designs right there. And so that makes it match, actually, and it fits really well, I think. I end up actually deleting these two turnstiles right here. I'm making that the exit to the park. So I'm going to make it, exit only with a little ropes and signs that say exit only, and you'll see that here in a minute. So we're going to come around here, and this is where I'm deleting that, and I add these little roped areas right here to kind of make it look like you can't come in this way. How they always have it in big theme parks, how they have ropes and they have people standing there like you can't come in this way. It's not an entrance, it's an exit. And I'm digging around here for a sign to use that would make sense. I'm looking at all these Western signs, and none of them look really good. So I end up deciding on a modular recolorable sign, one that I make match the colors of the building really quick. I'm actually kind of taking a look at all these other signs. I haven't really explored it. But I picked this sign right here, and it's ugly as mess right there. But I end up recoloring it to make it match the building as best as I can. And there we go, as you can see there. And then I put park exit right there. And I actually really like that font right there. And there you go, park exit. And then I duplicate it over to the other side and make it say exit only, so people know, oh, I can't go in there. Now, of course, the actual people in the game will walk through there at their own will. I can't really control that. So there you go. That's pretty much all I got done. I do end up adding these little fences right here because I actually really like the color of these fences after I change them, of course. And I'm going to use them as like a back, blocking people from just walking around the main building, of course. There you go. And I just add a couple of trees here and there. But as I was saying about, college, it's just I'm getting through it, and that's why I haven't uploaded any videos. So I'm sorry if you guys were wondering, where did I go? Did I die? things like that. And it's just been really stressful, really busy, and I'm still working. It's actually, I'm recording this at 3:30 in the morning right now. It's really, really early, and I really need some sleep because I got to work again tomorrow. So it's going to be a really busy week for me, but I'm going to try and keep these out. There's not going to be a recording schedule, but there we go. There's all that right there. Just a little finale shot, but so that's all I got done in this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Planet Coaster. Make sure to leave your suggestions down in the comments below, and I'll be sure to take a look at them and see what I think about them, as I kind of want this to be a community involvement thing. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit that like button down below and subscribe to become part of the Corpse Crew today, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.